Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing what brands need to know when it comes to Amazon influencers. We're also going to be discussing what should a brand's goal be when working with influencers, what kind of videos you should be looking at, and how to work with the influencer directly. Okay, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right, we're going to be discussing what brands need to know when working with an Amazon influencer. Our guest is former TV news reporter anchor who works full-time from home doing product reviews on Amazon and part of their influencer program. And I was just mentioning to the guests, there's going to be times where I am going to be coughing, and I caught myself and I was able to control it, but I can't say what I'm going to do for the rest of the podcast. She also works as a brand with businesses and brands as an online talent and creates UGC, the user-generated content, reels, scripted content, and is a live shopping host. Welcome. This is our first time guest, Deanne Gustafson. So, Kelsey, can you hit a sponsor? Facing cash flow challenges with your e-commerce business? Discover Viably, your ultimate financial ally. From real-time sales data integrations to immediate funding access, Viably is here to support you. Plan your growth with their free tool for online sellers and engage with specialists whenever you need. Extend your cash flow with Viably. Okay, so where is the mayor of Blunderville?
Oh boy, your poor throat. I can't. It's gonna be a fun episode. I think Cool Hand 99 sums it up here. I'm shocked Norm can actually talk after Vegas. Must have not smoked enough cigars. I think you smoked plenty of cigars when you were down there, from the sound of it.
Yeah. I actually think that one night Kevin beat me. I couldn't believe it. But get this. So, and this kind of ties everything in about going to events and just talking to people. So we were sitting in the Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge in Vegas, and this isn't the one in Caesar. This is the one that just opened up a day before the big smoke. And we're just sitting there. We're having a cigar. We're talking, and I was going to switch my seat to be right beside him. Okay, because just being talking directly to him, it was a little bit loud. So I go to switch my seat. And the guy that was sitting there comes back and says, "Oh, excuse me, but I'm still sitting there." And I said, "All right, no problem." So I whip back over, and about 2 minutes into it, the guy lights up a cigar and just leaned over, and I said, "What kind of cigar is that?" And he started talking with us, and he was very knowledgeable. And I don't know, Kevin or myself, one of us started talking to him, and it turns out that this guy was the guy. Oh no, what happened was he said, "Oh, this is one of my cigars." And I'm looking at it and I'm going, "That's the Monte Cristo." What are you talking about? This guy owned the aging room, which rolls all these high end cigars, and was the guy who just opened the Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge. So we're sitting, and he was one of the talkers the next day, the speakers at the meeting. And here we are, everybody is bowing down to him in this cigar lounge, and we're wondering, who the hell is it? And then we met this other music producer from Hollywood that came and sat down. He was a cigar guy too, but just you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I was just thinking it was a good thing you didn't be like, "Hey, beat a guy," like kick him out of the seat. That
you never know. And so it doesn't matter if, and all of this, because we were telling him, Kevin and I have a project up our sleeve. So we were telling him about it, and it's going to help out with it. He's actually going to participate in it. So you just never know who it is.
Wow. And I can see your eyes lighting up when you're talking about the story. Woo. I think you have a passion for cigars, and everyone can see it here. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, we do have a giveaway today. So stick around for that. Make sure you smash those like buttons, give us a thumbs up. And I know for, I think, some of the UK listeners and others, we are an hour ahead now because of daylight savings. So I think we threw off some people, and our schedules are a little bit messed up. But welcome, everyone. And if you do have any questions, comments, let us know. This is a topic that I'm super interested as being part of it. So yeah, it's going to be a good episode.
Okay, so let me just get my head screwed back on straight. I'll see if I can get through this episode just off the plane. So we can get started. All right. So like Kelsey said, if you have any questions or comments, throw them over in the comments section. But now why don't we sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee or whatever you like, and enjoy the episode. Welcome, Deanne.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I can talk. I don't have a cough, so I'm good.
See? You want to become a cigar influencer?
I'd probably be like the last person.
You never know until you try.
That's a really cool story. And so was it a cigar conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is put on by the Cigar Aficionado once a year, and it's called the Big Smoke. And yeah, it's in Vegas, and there's probably over the period of the 2 days, probably 2,000 or 3,000 cigar smokers. By the way, the guy I was sitting beside that we are just talking about, I said, well, how many cigars do you normally smoke in a day? And he goes, about 4 or 5. And I thought, wow, that's a good amount. He says, this is my 17th cigar today. And he went on to smoke another one. He had 18 cigars that day.
Wow. Well, at least he owns the company. So
I don't know how you can do that. 18 cigars. I can't see how you do 5 a day, man. But anyway, you just never know. And
you never know. And maybe I should. There's probably demand for girls in that space.
Cigar Vixen. Okay, so there are about 10 cigar influencers that have 750 to 2.5 million followers. That's another big area for cigar accessories, the types of cigars. It's a huge area, and you just wouldn't think about it.
You wouldn't.
And women in cigars, by the way, it's a growing trend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, very cool. I love it.
Yeah. So we had a blast. But now on to you. Okay. So talking about influencers, why don't we talk about let's talk about just general influencers. So why should brands be even looking for an Amazon influencer?
Yeah. So if you're selling on Amazon, then I do think that's where the match would be a great match. And the reason would be videos are really powerful. And if it's done well, it converts to sales. So if it's done poorly, you know what? You wasted your money, I think. Or you could do it yourself. It might not convert to sales the same way. But if you can work with an influencer who really knows the formula of what works and they're authentic and real, and that's where you're going to find a little bit of a gold mine. So that's why I recommend that.
Now, should you work with, we were just talking about cigars, but what happens if you are into, I don't know, coffee? Should you work with an influencer that is specific to the niche, or that they could be general?
I think both is fine. If you want more of like that social media video, then working within a niche is probably smart. If you're going to pay them to push it out on their own social media, then that could make sense. But as far as Amazon goes, I don't personally think you need a niche as long as you can be passionate about the product. So for me, I will do everything and anything almost of a video, except like I do kind of know like tech's not always my thing. So I might not focus on tech, but I'm really good at doing the fashion, the beauty, the lifestyle stuff. So I take more of those products on. That said, I've probably reviewed 10 humidifiers. Am I a humidifier expert? No. Now I am maybe, but no, I'm just a mom who has kids and I can show how a humidifier works. So I don't think you have to find that niche. I just think it's good. It can be good though. If you wanted someone to put it out to their social media, then yes.
Yeah, I had to become a toe fungus expert.
Not funny.
I I've written more press releases on toe fungus
Wait,
than
why? Were you
I had a
trying?
client that had a very popular toe fungus treatment. And I had to throw myself into it and understand, what it is, all the benefits. Well, not benefits for toe fungus, but all the benefits of his product.
Yep.
Just had to jump right in. I've written literally over 100 press releases on toe fungus.
Isn't that funny? And it's
Yep.
like, would you say that, yeah, you're not a medical doctor, you're not, but what you've done is really helped the reach for your friend's product.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think you have to find just like that one person who's, the toe fungus expert. You can find other people.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? You just said that, I'm not an expert in that. I'm not a doctor, but that reminds me of something. And I'm not mentioning any names, but we do have a client who is a fairly well-known doctor, and we write a lot of the articles that go out for him. So we'll write it well researched, and he'll proof it, and he'll make any changes. But even in something like that, content, if you find somebody that's really great with specific types of research or content,
Mhm.
you don't have to be that expert. And we're publishing this in magazines for this doctor, but again, he gets last say, so
Yeah.
it is reviewed by him.
But yeah, totally. Yeah. It's funny because I'll get texts sometimes from friends. So I have two little girls who are 6 and 4, but I've done like Amazon, you can review anything. So when I buy them their little girl underwear, I've reviewed it because I'm like, I'm going to review it. I'm going to give my opinion on this stuff. Now, they're not in the video. Trust me, they're not.
Yeah.
Creeps out there in this world.
Yeah.
But, I'm holding it up and talking about it. And I've had so many friends, because, we're on this, have our kids be like, I just saw your review on and the girls' underwear. And I'm like, well, that's funny. So in my head, I'm like, I'm the girls' underwear expert. Like,
Now that leads to a good question, because I've had people ask me about kids in videos,
mm-hmm.
and I'm the same way. I have big red flag, creep alert. I wouldn't recommend it, but in general, what would you say?
So I do have my kids in a lot of videos, but here's my advice on it. Okay, so one, Amazon is pretty strict about some rules. You have to appear in the video as well, like even like your hand. Like sometimes I'll be like handing them the toy or something like that. They do need you to be in it. And then swimwear, I try to make sure my kids wear like the long sleeve and then like the shorts or a skirt swimsuit. Amazon used to be really strict at that, but then I don't know, I feel like they've kind of become less strict, but protect your kids. That's just what I would say. But as far as like mine, I just try to keep it really natural. They're young enough where they're excited to get the toy and I let them play with it or whatever the item is, clothing. They're in it. And then I go back later and story it. So I will voice it over. I'm never trying to make them act or be anything because I don't want them to feel like it's a forced thing.
Yeah.
And when they get to the age where they're like, I'm not into this, then they're done. Like that's totally fine. I don't want to ever put that like pressure on them. Like, no, you will be a kid influencer. Like, no, that is not going to happen. So yeah, but I will say I have a YouTube channel as well that I've been growing and I put a lot of my reviews over there. And I had one where my kids were just in leotards and it had a lot of views. And I was like, and I got the TubeBuddy software. So now I can see like what people are searching. And unfortunately, I looked at and saw the reason that's popular is because it's little girls stretching. And I'm like, oh, gross.
Oh.
So that it's like, you think like, oh yeah, there's just creepy. No, there's like really creepy people out there. Like they're literally searching for this.
Yeah. After you see that on TubeBuddy, right?
Just in leotards. Like they're
Yeah.
not doing anything. Yeah. But
too bad you couldn't get their IPs.
I know, right? Ugh. No, but then you just kind of have to make that decision. You're like, hey, the views and the potential sale, or just take it off, delete it. Like it's not worth it.
Yeah, I go to the other side because I just like you. There's just too many creeps. But on the other side of it, there's so many different niches and so many different ways that you can repurpose it. You were just talking about it. So let's talk about that. So somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got this coffee mug, and it's a great coffee mug. It's an innovative coffee mug. What should I do with it? What type of videos should I create? What would you, and I know, okay, so how long is a piece of string? I already know that part, but for an average product, what would you say the typical videos would be?
So I would say, especially if you're coming at this as a seller and maybe you don't have the budget to hire someone, or you want to do the video yourself, or you want to guide the influencer of how to do the video, I think what works best is an actual demo. So if you have a coffee
Mm.
mug that's innovative, I want to see, what does it do? And don't just be like, I poured coffee in, this is a great mug. Like, show me why this mug is better than other mugs. And if that means like 2 mugs side by side, or you're just really going into some detail of like how awesome this mug is, that's what's going to be, I think that's what makes for a better video. So really showing that demo, showing it in action if possible. And some things it's really hard to show in action. It's like they just don't lend to very much action. But what can you show? What detail can you show that makes sense for the viewer, where they're like, oh, I needed to see that, so that now I'm going to click add to cart and buy. And then the other tip I will give everyone is, at the end of all my videos, I smile. So there's such a difference between being like, this is a great hair clip, I think you're going to like it, and this is a great hair clip, I think you're going to love it. Like, that little smile makes such a difference, I think, in sales. So that's just another tip of like, end it in a really positive note, and just, you might feel cheesy, but throw that smile on there. I swear it works.
I haven't heard that word since I was listening to a little Frank Zappa. Cheesy.
Cheesy.
Now
But
you,
cheesy too. I mean, I feel cheesy. Like, I'll be like, this is a great, coffee,
yeah.
ding.
So where do you publish them now? Are there certain you or YouTube? I usually publish to YouTube, but
Yeah.
are there certain social media platforms that work, or does it depend on that niche?
I think it depends on the niche, the person. I mean, there's so much social media, right? Like,
Mhm.
there's a bazillion things. Like, I'm not even in some of them. I'm like, oh, there's the Snap partner program. I haven't even looked at that. There's so many, but I'll post to about what my audience would be interested in versus just giving them everything and anything. Like, I don't need to put a humidifier video on my Instagram probably, but people on Instagram might want to see some beauty products, some lifestyle products. And then I do put everything on YouTube to copyright it. That's like kind of the first and foremost. It's
Yep.
just a lot of theft, unfortunately, of influencer videos. And then I have 2 channels now. One that's like all just reviews, and then one I'm trying to be a little more lifestyle specific. And then TikTok, I started doing live over there. And there's a whole nother like world of products that you can do videos on. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity.
What's your favorite?
Right now, YouTube is my focus. Yeah. And I'm
And,
enjoying it.
and you can make money off of YouTube. I'm talking about the
I'm
average
making
person.
money off of that just with affiliate links from Amazon. So
Oh,
I
nice.
actually don't even have my channel monetized yet. And that's something to know. I'll be like so totally transparent. I'm not like a super duper crazy big influencer. I'm more of like a micro influencer. But what I'm good at are product review videos. So that's kind of where I'm still learning too, a lot of things about social media. So yeah, it's really interesting.
I don't know. I came on a bit later today, but do you have any of your videos lined up that we could watch one of them?
Oh, I don't have one lined up, but I mean, I could get you one.
Well, maybe at the break we could line
Yeah,
something up.
we'll
I'd
line
really like
something
to
up.
see that.
Let me know what kind of, I mean, usually mine, I do under a minute. So they
Yep.
won't be like, you're not gonna be sitting for a documentary. And I can, yeah, I'll look into what maybe just a
Let's
recent one
do
I've
it.
done, something fun. Yeah.
I'm just curious about this one. I had a group of questions I thought I'd be asking today, but this one, this comes back to the product, the seller.
Okay.
What do you think about sellers, or how do you treat sellers that send you this bottle of Coke and you send them back the video and they're looking at it? What do you say when they come back and say, "Ah, you know what? I didn't like the 34th to the 37th second. Can you revise it?"
Well, I think it all depends on what you agreed ahead of time.
Right?
And for the most part, the sellers that I'm working with are not paying me enough for any revisions, and I get my money up front. So I would say, peace out.
That's what I thought you'd say.
But if it's something where I'm working with them and I understand why they said that, like maybe they're right, like that's
Mhm.
35-second mark, it could be better,
You're
then
not smiling.
I will have a little compassion and change it. But
Sure.
the hardest thing is I'm very truthful in my reviews. So I usually do the cookie method. So it's like good, needs improvement, good. But if something needs improvement, I'm going to mention it. And if they want that taken out, it's not happening because then like I'm not being truthful in my reviews.
Do you tell them that up front?
No, I think they've seen enough of my videos, hopefully, that they just know what they're going to get. But what I will do, and I've had this happen where the product sent to me is a dud. Like it's either it's broken or it's just a piece of junk, right? And I will tell them, I'm going to be honest in my review and say, this doesn't work. What do you want? What would you like to do with that? And usually what they do is they say, I'm going to send you another one. Okay, 9 out of 10 times, the next one they send me, same problem. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like, it's still broken. Like, I don't know why you thought that. But so then I will tell them, and I don't know, hopefully this is allowed in the Amazon program, but I will just give them a kill fee. I'll say, look, if you just pay me X amount of money, I won't do the video at all. And
Yeah.
then usually they just pay me the kill fee because at that point I've already spent time like unboxing it, looking at it, realizing it's broken. So they're just kind of paying me for my time. And I'd rather not bash a company. Like my goal is not to talk about how bad a product is. I'd rather be silent than like talk about how bad something is. And plus we only get paid on Amazon, we'll get paid from the seller, but paid on Amazon and commission. So if I'm selling something that's going to get returned, that gives me no benefit.
Right.
So there's no actual benefit for me to promote a product that's not great.
That could actually hurt because you're also judged by your conversion rate.
Yeah, exactly. And there's better things out there. So I always think it's a good lesson for the seller too. Like, hey, your stuff is not working. Like you're going to get a bunch of returns. They don't want that either. Right. So
I hope the person's not listening. I'm not going to mention the brand. So I received a pressure mat. Okay. But I don't think they checked it from the manufacturer. So usually there's pressure points that come in, right?
Mhm.
So I put my hand on it. I thought, this is too sharp. I pressed on it just with my hand because I didn't feel that my weight. I thought, this is going to puncture me all over my body. And I put my hand down and I instantly got about 100 cuts all
Whoa.
over my hand. And then when I went to pick it up, I actually slit my wrist.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I number one, always check your product from the manufacturer.
Mhm.
So I can just imagine what was happening. Then my wife tried the pillow and it was the same sort of thing. It was just completely uncomfortable. All the pressure points were needle sharp. So you couldn't do it. You just couldn't
do it. And you probably saved them thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
What they would have paid. Hopefully it's at that point where you're actually doing them a service by saying, this is dangerous. Like, this is awful.
Yeah. But so that's one of the things that by going out to an influencer, I was always at that. I didn't know because I'm not that experienced at it. But do you mention the bad things? And you just cleared it up. You can say, just give an honest review.
An honest review. I think that's what people want, and then their expectations are met as well. Because if you just talked about, like, I have up here on my desk, I always have like a bazillion things on my desk. But like, if you talk about how amazing these hair tools are, they're the best thing, and then the person gets it and they're like, yeah, but she didn't even mention how like that button turns off all the time. But if I had just said, like, this thing's amazing, but just so you know, like, be really careful, that button will turn off. That little piece of information is the difference between somebody going to return it because they don't understand, like, that might just happen versus keeping it.
Right. So for yourself, what type of videos do you produce?
So I do all kinds. I mean, I really do. Like, that's kind of the funny part about my storefront. And my husband will do videos too. So there'll be BB guns and then there'll be makeup. Like, it's like everything and anything under the sun. But I say no to a lot of things just based on time because I don't have the time in the day to do every single video. But for the most part, I would say lifestyle is definitely a focus, and then things that are mom related. And a lot of times I'm thinking also, what can I resell? What do I want to do? Maybe I want to have a thing to donate for Christmas time. So then I'll take on products that way too. So it's, and also, of course, what do I need? What do I want? But what happens, this is really fascinating, is like for about a year, I wanted an air fryer, and I would reach out to the brokers in China that I was working with at the time, and none of them had air fryers. Well, finally someone sent me an air fryer. So I did the video. And then after that, I've been sent probably 5 or 6 air fryers. So what happens is when you do one, then the competitors see it and then they'll reach out to give you the
Right.
next product. And then it's like, well, I don't really need another air fryer. So, but my family has all been blessed with air fryers.
There you go. There was very similar. My wallet disintegrated in Mexico. So the kids got me a new wallet. And then after that, I did one video for a company about a wallet. And now literally I have 15 new wallets on the ground over here from other companies. It's just, yeah, I know what you're saying.
And you become the wallet expert. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could do that with gold watches.
Right.
Hint,
Wow.
hint.
It's coming up.
Yeah, there we go. All right. It's the bottom of the hour. Kelsey, why don't we try to share a video when we come back?
Okay.
And let me see. It's bottom of the hour. So at the top of the hour, we always give away a prize. It's called the Wheel of Kelsey. So if you're a first-time listener, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you tag 2 people, you will get a second entry. What are we looking at today? I know it's an awesome prize, but what are you giving away?
Okay. Well, since we're talking about being sent a lot of stuff, this was a recent thing that was sent to me. It's his and her gold watches.
Ooh.
Ooh, they're very nice. They are adjustable, and I do have the extra if you have a bigger wrist, so you can adjust if you need to. They retail for about 150 each, so they're legit. Like they're nice gold watches. So you can choose that, or if you're like, I don't really want that, that's not my style, I'm happy to do a coaching session as well. So I would do a 30-minute coaching session with you, and that's retailed about $100.
Fantastic. So hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people. You could either get the gold watches or the coaching session. Okay, Kels, let's go to a sponsor and we'll be right back. This episode of Lunch with Norm is sponsored by VAA Philippines. Looking for a high-quality virtual assistant for your business? With the rigorous screening, intensive Amazon and Walmart training, and ongoing professional development, get the peace of mind with skill and motivated virtual assistants for a long-term working relationship. Hire through VAA today, and now let's get back to the show. All right, we are back. Oh, Deanne, excuse me, here we go.
No worries.
Now we're back.
All right.
Did you have time to get a video?
I was just pulling one right now. So give me
Okay.
10 seconds and let me just
Sure.
grab something fun here.
Oh, you just got a new subscriber.
Woohoo.
There
Okay.
you go.
Grab this video. Share, copy. This one I'm just grabbing because it's about a minute. So that way.
The bearded mimic. All right.
About a minute.
You've got my attention, bearded mimic. All right. So we are about ready.
All right. I put one in there.
Okay.
All right, I'm just pulling it up now, so just give me 1 second.
And I'm not saying this is like the best work of my life or anything like that. This is just
an example.
An example of a demo.
All right, just a second. I'm just waiting for those YouTube ads, making sure everything's good.
I'm sure I have better videos, so don't judge too harshly.
Okay, I hope the volume works too. Okay.
See the quality of the producer I have. Okay, while we're waiting for, oh, here we go.
That's a good shot.
Okay.
There we go. And smiling.
Freeze frame.
Sorry, this is my computer is slowing down right now.
Okay. Well, if it's not going to work, then Kels, can you just put in the comments where people can go and see some of Deanne's?
Well, we should probably just throw my storefront in there. You can see all my videos on my storefront. There we go. I gave you YouTube, but I should have just thrown you a one of my main ones on my storefront. Let's see.
All right.
Here you go. I'll give you that.
Perfect.
You'll see a ton of videos. I mean, I think I have over 2,500 videos or something like that. Like, it's insane.
So this leads to another question about expectations for influencers. So those people trying to go and do this as a side hustle, not full-time, but a side hustle. Can you make money? What kind of expectations are there for people going out there and trying to become an Amazon influencer?
That's a great question. So yes, there's opportunity, absolutely. But as a side hustle, I would say your income is going to be a lot less as a side hustle. So I work this full time. I mean, I'm doing my videos 40 to 60 hours a week.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that is also with my kids in preschool and kindergarten full days, like 8:30 to 5:30. So, but for me, it's like, I love what I do. And it goes back to my news reporting. I used to be, I left TV news because it's way too negative. And when I was freelancing, I used to email consumer reports all the time. And I would say, hey, would you ever be interested in hiring a freelance reporter? I would love to do videos. And they emailed me back 0 times. They didn't even like give me a courtesy, like, no, we're not hiring. They just didn't have they couldn't be bothered.
Right.
But now I'm literally doing, like, I feel like I kind of manifested what I've always wanted to do, which is video product reviews. So for me, it like lights me up. If you're looking just to make a quick buck, like, this might not light you up. It might be more work than the payout at this point. Now, last year, Amazon, I would have maybe said something different.
Yep.
I felt like it was great. Like, you could just get right in and ramp right up. And now I think it's a lot more work. There's definitely still a lot of opportunity. So don't get me wrong. And I love the program. I recommend it to everyone, but I really think you need to be passionate before you just jump in. It's not like a fast grab, make your money fast, get rich quick.
But I've seen,
I don't think that's good.
I looked it was probably about 2 months ago, and related videos had disappeared off a lot of Amazon listings. I couldn't find them. I see them back now, but not 100%. And I heard that shoppable videos were starting not to appear on listings. So if that's where you're making your money, that's a problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You have to really come at the program with different ways. So you need to do your affiliate links and be bringing traffic in. Amazon kind of rewards you for that, I believe. And then the videos that are the shoppable videos, because I have so many and I'm constantly creating new ones, I'm doing okay. I have seen a dip, but I'm not like, I'm still doing okay. But I can't, it's not money where I like, oh, I did that video a year ago and now I don't have to do anything. It's not like that. Like, I'm still working pretty hard at it. And yeah, I mean, I love it, but the thing about Amazon, and I'm sure every seller watching understands, is they change things all the time without warning. And then they change it back. They change something else. It's constant. And so you're always on a roller coaster and you don't really know, like, am I going to be on the high today or the low today? Am I upside down? You just have to be ready to be part of the ride. And so I'm really adaptable. So for me, that's fine. Like, cool, I'm on the roller coaster. Let's go. And I also come at this with a lot of gratitude to Amazon. So I know I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and people are always mad. Oh, they took away the videos and da 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 da. And I'm like, Amazon doesn't owe us anything. Like, we're lucky to be part of this. So I really look at it as like, in my gratitude list, I'm grateful for my family, da, 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 da. And then I always say I'm grateful for Amazon because I am. I'm really grateful for it. So
because of that inconsistency right now, are you driving a lot of external traffic from social media?
I'm trying. So I've
Yeah.
been focusing a lot on growing that, and I don't have a huge following. So that's been a big chunk of my time now, is to grow that. And I think that's actually kind of a blessing as well. Like, I wasn't really focused on it, and I think Amazon kind of forced me to be more focused on it. But I think it's a good thing. Like, everyone knows in business, you got to diversify. If you put all your eggs in one basket, that's a horrible idea. So to be able to have different audiences, different places is really smart. So yeah, I'm working on my offsite traffic. I have my on-site shoppable videos. I also freelance still. So I have multiple things that I do.
How big is your audience? Or how big is your are your follower
Oh
base?
gosh, like baby. Like I have okay, so like on my, you'll see my socials on my
Mhm.
storefront. I think I have at least 2 up there. So my Instagram, I'm talking like 1,800. Like, it's not a huge amount there. We also have a business called Kombucha on Tap. So I do have a larger following on our business page. And then my YouTube is now, I think it's like 1.5 thousand followers. So it's still like just growing. TikTok I avoided forever because of security reasons. And now I just recently was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I signed up for to do live on TikTok. And I literally gave TikTok like every piece of information about me except for like the code to my front door, which I'm sure they could find out.
What is that code?
Yeah, let's go. And you guys want my pin too?
Yeah, yeah.
I gave everything to I literally was like, I went from like no TikTok security to like, here, here's my social security, here's my driver's license. I'm like,
Mm.
so I'm growing that now. And I think on TikTok, it's like nothing. It's like 145. That said, though, I've made money on live. So sometimes another thing to think about is you can make money without the huge audience. So if I can be like an inspiration to anyone on that, like, I've made money without having a huge following. It is possible to be earning income as you're growing it. So
But people love that though. So nano and micro influencers are the sweet spot for Amazon brands. They want to have 10 nano or 20 nano influencers because people trust
yeah,
the
I think
micro
it's
and
a trust
nanos.
factor. I think it is a trust factor, which is really great. And there's nothing wrong. So there's nothing, yeah, I'll vouch. Like, there's nothing wrong with nano and micro influencers. A lot of times I do get frustrated because there's brands where I sell thousands of dollars worth of their products on Amazon because it's just stuff I use and I love. And then I reach out to them to say, hey, can I be an affiliate for you guys? Like, could we collab? And they'll be like, yeah, your socials aren't enough. And I'm like, yeah, but I sell thousands of dollars of your products. Like,
Yeah. And what harm would that be?
10,000 followers. But, it's like, whatever. It is what it is.
Now, going into your contracts, I'm just interested to see what are you laying out for people, or what do you want to talk to people about when they're I'm Canadian now, but what do you want to see in these agreements when you work
Yeah.
with work with an
So
influencer or work with a seller?
yeah, absolutely. So when I work with sellers, I lay out a few things. The first one is, if I've never worked with you before, I do request my payment up front. If you are a very established company, I will make like an okay, like you can pay me after. But otherwise, I always want it up front. The last thing I want to do is like chase invoices. That's like the biggest headache for anyone. I also say that I own the content. So you can't just go and upload it as your own. And that happens all the time. So
Mhm.
I always make that crystal clear. Like, I
What
own it.
happens when that happens?
Copyright strike. That's like, I just do it. I file it on Amazon. If I catch it, but I mean, I have thousands of videos, so it takes sometimes days to pour through and find these things. Um, and also, and I'll tell them, if you want to buy the rights to this video, I'm happy to sell it to you. So that's always an option too. And then what else? I give them a timeline of how long it's going to take as well, so that those expectations are set, and they have to ship it to me. So as an Amazon influencer, we cannot buy the product. You have to send it to us. So that's really important to know. So just know you're going to ship it to them. They're going to get it. You need to have a clear expectation of the delivery of the time. Because some of us we're getting tons of products. So if you think you're just going to get your product shipped and the next day the video is going to pop up, like, got to discuss that ahead of time. So I give like multiple weeks of how long
Yeah.
it's going to take. What else? I think those are the main ones. Yeah.
What about you talked about if somebody wants the video for themselves,
Mhm.
do you double the price, triple the price?
Yeah, I think it's case by case
Uh-huh.
of what went into the video, but it is more money. Yeah, because once they have it, then you're giving them a marketing video, which if you were to pay someone, a production studio, all the things, they'd be spending thousands of dollars on that.
Right.
And so I do charge a much higher fee for that. And I understand that a lot of people don't have that in their budgets. And then I'm like, great, share my stuff. Like, don't steal it, please.
Yeah. And it's important if you're just listening and you're even thinking about doing that, it's so important that this is work that this is a person's livelihood. This is what they do for a living. And if you try to skirt it, first of all, it's not very ethical. Second of all, your product, your video would just be taken down. And third, you could be sued.
Mhm.
So that's so just think about it before. And sometimes it's very innocent. People don't realize it. Uh, and people just think that, oh, they made the video. What harm is it if I can just, put it on my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
But that's just stealing somebody else's work.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let's talk about tips. So tips for doing videos that convert.
Yeah, I gave a few earlier, but I think for the main tips, the main takeaways, if I want you to get anything that has worked for me, is showing it in action.
Mhm.
So an actual demo, a before and after, do pretty well. Like if it's something that you can show. Now, if it's something where like it's hard to show, then you be creative, right? Like try to do something with it that's creative. Also, if it's something that requires installation, show the installation process, even if that means you speed it up. So a lot of times, like I had mentioned earlier, my husband's in a lot of videos with me. So if there's like a ceiling fan, if I try to install that, it's going to take me like a month because I just don't have that engineering brain, but he can do it in a couple hours. So what I'll do is maybe the intro of the video, and then I'll kind of toss it to him like, okay, now he's going to take it away with how to set this up. And he'll go piece by piece by piece of his steps. So I think what you want to do is just think of the person that is shopping and what information do they need before they make that purchase. And you can do multiple videos. You could do one just on the installation. You could do another on, the benefits of it. So there's different ways you can break out your video.
That's interesting because sometimes I've told people to, when you're working with an influencer or a video production company, to try to break the script into a longer video production, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but 30-minute segments where you're talking about different benefits, different features, and then you can take each one of those and use them as a video.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially if you have a product that's very detailed. Like if you cram all that information into one, it can get lost, but you can absolutely break it out and do multiple videos. And I think that's a great idea. If I had a product I was selling, I would make sure I had a lot of searchable videos.
So let's talk about your YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, but as for an influencer, I think it's a bit different. Can you tell us more about the process and how you set that up and how it works?
Sure. So I have learned a ton. I was telling Kelsey this. I originally, okay, well, actually, my YouTube channel is kind of old. I think it's, I want to say I started in like 2010 or something like that. Like, so it's like 13 years old, maybe even older than that. There may be 2008 stuff in there. So it used to be my channel was just my portfolio for being a news broadcaster. And so it was, clips and things like that. So I never really used it. And then with the Amazon influencer program, I had been given a tip to copyright all your videos by putting them on YouTube first so that if somebody else steals it, you get the alert. So I just was putting up videos. Like I would be like, great Tumblr. That was it. Like I did not do searchable keywords. Like, oh, I like messed everything up. I also hate negativity. So I disabled comments because I was like, I don't want to hear from annoying people. So I did like everything wrong.
Uh,
And then I had comments on for like a minute and I did like this pizza wheel, those cutters.
yep.
And somebody literally commented that I don't know how to cut pizza correctly. And I was like, come on, people. Like, I'm literally holding a phone with one hand and cutting a pizza with another. Like, I'm sorry I didn't go to school for this. But I just was so annoyed so that I disabled comments again. I was like, I don't have time for these dumb people in my world. And so my YouTube channel was doing okay, and granted, because I've done thousands of product review videos, there was a ton of videos. And then I started seeing some of my offsite commissions coming from YouTube. And I was like, oh, so I need to pay a little more attention. And now every night till like midnight, I stay up and I'm going through every single video and I'm retitling it so that it says Stanley 40 ounce, amazing tumbler, you need this or whatever, so that it's actually searchable. So that's a tip, make your titles searchable. And then I put my comments back on and I actually respond to everyone. If it's like super off, then they're just deleted. I don't have time for that. But even if it's like kind of like a weird comment, I might respond and be like, oh, tell me more or something like that to get them to come back to my video because I'm trying to get my watch hours to go up. So I'm like doing all the tricks. And my comments are back on. So now I'm going through and I'm putting my affiliate link in the first comment on every video. I'm pinning it so that
On every video, the first comment.
I'm pinning my affiliate link and saying affiliate link. So make sure
Yep.
you always disclose it's an affiliate link. That's a huge deal. But I'm pinning it so that they don't have to like do work. Like, yes, it still pops up 4 seconds into the video. And yes, it's in the description, but it's also right there in the comment. So I just realized people, if they're going to like click something, it needs to be so simple and easy, like in their face. So that's what I'm doing. And it seems to be really, really working. I mean, I just started like this process 2 weeks ago and
Mhm.
I've like 700 more videos to go, but it's also good because it's giving me inventory on the videos I've done. And I'm like, wow, like I could repurpose this content so many different ways.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like once you put your content on YouTube, you have that opportunity to then go back and like reuse those videos.
Now, what about the actual link? When you go a few seconds in, are you seeing the raw link or are you doing a short link?
I'm just right now taking it straight up from SiteStripe. I do have Genius links, but I'm not using that on my YouTube right now.
Okay. Yeah. Is that against policy if
I
you do
don't know. It's such a gray area. And I've
Yeah.
asked Amazon before and they kind of gave me like we can either confirm or deny. Like, it was like, what's the answer? Like, can you tell me yes or no? So I think for some people it's allowed, for others it's not. For some it's gray area. I was not told no, but I also wasn't told like, yeah, so, and if you stop using them, you have to go and redo all of yours. So that's another reason I don't do it. Because if I were to change one to another, I don't want to have to like go back and do this process again.
And I just noticed Ben Gross there. All I have to say is, hey, Ben, next time we're going to kidnap you and bring you to the cigar show. It was awesome and we missed you. Ben's another great cigar smoker.
Oh, nice. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I just now see the comments. Sorry, guys. I've like completely ignored all these comments that have
Oh,
come
don't
in.
worry. We're going to go through them in a
Okay,
second
good.
with all the questions. I'd like to know your day in the life.
Okay.
What does that look like?
Day in the life. Okay. Well, I feel like working from home is the best thing ever. So I'm a huge proponent of that. Most of my days, I like get my kids off to school and then I'll make like an espresso, and I have a sauna here. So I like sit in the infrared sauna and like look at my numbers. I always go through my data every single day. I jump on my computer and see like what sold and how I did financially. And then it's usually making a list of like, what do I need to film today, edit today? And I batch. So some days I'm just filming, like I'm cranking out 10 videos. And some days I'm just sitting and I'm editing those 10 videos and posting them. So each day is different. I try to get out on a walk or something because there's a lot of sitting and I'm very healthy and active. So I want to make sure I like move my body. And what else in my day? Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, and I might go live as well. So I might be live on Amazon. I might go live on TikTok. And then one day a week, I live sell at a fashion boutique where I actually like, go in and live sell.
Okay. What happens if you have a face for radio?
That's okay. I don't think you have to, I don't think it has to be so looks driven. I've done plenty of videos without makeup on where I don't think I am representing like the ideal woman in those videos. Like it's like they're rough, but it's like, who cares? Like, and that's what's so interesting. The news reporter in me was like, you have to be so perfect and you have to be so, and I feel like nowadays that's not what people want. They want like real, like they don't care that you're like messy. I mean, half the time my nail polish is chipped. Like it's not perfection. And maybe that's just not who I am. So I don't represent, that like everything's perfect. But if you have a face for radio or you just don't feel comfortable on camera, you can do reviews where it's just your hands, where you don't have to put your face on camera at all. But I do recommend try to get comfortable with it. And I just think it's a skill that it's going to get you far. And I think people want to make eye contact. And even though it's in a video, like if you can give them like your face, I really think it makes a difference. And don't worry, like nobody's judging. If they're judging you, then they're not looking at the product. Like the whole point is like, you want to be talking about the product, not about you. Right. So don't even bother. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm so messy. No, just like go right into the product, give them that value. And it doesn't, I believe it shouldn't matter what you look like if you can just offer them value and education.
So having a beard, I utilize that. And when I do some videos, I literally have a black background with a little bit of orange, just like this, but nothing. And I have my beard. Only thing that people see is my beard. And then I'll bring up a cup and just nobody ever sees the face.
That's
And
so
if they do see the face, I have a mask on. So it's just
well, that's like your gimmick though, right? Because you could totally have your face on camera. Like you have a great face,
for
but I
radio.
think it's really creative and cool. Like you found something that you could use, which is your beard as
Yeah.
like your backdrop, which again, so you can always do things like that too. I think that's really cool.
Thank you. Now, Kelsey just dropped me a message to talk to you about the entrepreneurial life or entrepreneur life.
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. So that is okay. So I said earlier that I had a business channel. And my husband and I also have a business. It's called Kombucha on Tap. Well, it's actually rebranding. It's going to be called Keg Joy, but right now I think it's still Kombucha on Tap. And I don't know if you're familiar with kombucha because I see you drinking a lot of soda, which I'm going to have to change you on. But kombucha is a health beverage. So it's a healthy beverage that's full of probiotics. And we distribute kegs of that and cold brew coffee, which I know you know what cold brew coffee is.
I
So we
do.
distribute that throughout Southern California, sparkling water, all kinds of stuff. And our company's turning 10 next January.
Wow.
So we launched that in 2014 and we launched it as boyfriend and girlfriend and engaged. So actually our company is older than our marriage. And it's been a wild ride. So I understand the entrepreneurial journey of just going all in, working around the clock. And yeah, let me know what I can answer there. Working with your spouse, which I don't
Yes.
always recommend.
Okay. No, I Kelsey, I thought it was a magazine, but I didn't know it was about kombucha. So that's great. So you're working with cold brew coffee and kombucha. Something in my past, this goes back in the 90s. I was working, I was doing some work with Coca-Cola, and I was dealing with their VP of marketing. And we were talking, and they were saying that there's this new trend happening, and it's called cold coffee. It wasn't cold brew coffee, it was just iced coffee. And it was selling big in Japan. And we're both looking at each other going, it's never going to hit it here. Never. They weren't planning on launching it here. And all of a sudden, cold coffee or cold brew coffee, iced coffee, probably, I don't know. I don't know what the industry's like, but it's billions in sale probably.
Oh yeah. So our company name Kombucha on Tap, we started with kombucha, which was We were ahead of the trend
Yeah.
with bringing kombucha on tap to Southern California. We were like the first distributors. But now our coffee sales actually outpace some of our kombucha sales. So that's part of
Really?
why we're like rebranding. Yeah, cold brew coffee. Well, also, if you've never had it on tap, it's phenomenal. We have it on tap at our house. So I drink it every day. It's so good. And kombucha. But yeah, it's delicious.
I just have the Coke Zero truck pull up and give me,
There you go. You need your Coke Zero on tap. You need a kegerator.
that's what I need.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we've got a bunch of questions. You don't have to cut out early, do you?
No, I'm good. Bring it on.
Perfect. We're going to run over time, so that's perfect.
All right, so we do have lots of questions here. The first one is for Norm. My dad loves cigars, and it's his birthday this weekend. Where can I buy some good ones? Norm, do you have any recommendations? What should Tuyen do?
Okay, you DM me afterwards, and I can get you that information. So just get Kelsey, if you can get a message over to Tian, and I'll set them up.
All right, perfect. Okay, from Simon, do nano influencers charge upfront or just work on affiliate basis? If they charge, how much do you charge approximately? How much should they expect to?
Yeah, how much is it? I mean, there's such a wide range when it comes to that. I don't think I could speak for everyone or even myself, because it depends on the product. It depends on so many things. I would think a lot of nano influencers would want to charge up front because we're getting hit up by so many people who, I hate to say it, but there's like a lot of flakes out there. Like so many people tell me they're going to send me something and then it never even comes.
Right.
And I never got the money. So I'm like, okay, like it's kind of a way to say like you're committed, you're real, you're in. I'm sure that happens to you, Norm, all the time,
Yeah.
right? It's like, what just happened? Like you wasted my time with emails, but then yeah. So I do think it's a good respect to pay up front. And I know that's a risk on you as a seller as well, because you're like, well, what if the video sucks? Or what if they don't do the video? You could maybe say half up front, half after, if you're like a little worried about it. And then the charge, again, that just depends on the person. So you could leave it up to them to kind of give you it. Or if you have a budget, you can say like, this is how much I can pay. Does that work? So that would be my advice.
And keep this in mind. When you sell, first of all, there's emails going back and forth. The product comes in. You're unpackaging the product. You're writing the script, if you're writing a script, but most people will write a script. Then you're in front of the camera. Does the first take, maybe it's a 2 or 3 take. It takes 2 or 3 takes. Maybe you're editing. This all takes time. And especially if you're new as a new seller, expect to pay. You owe it to the influencer. It's time and money. And I can tell you we started taking in product, and we put out the word very quickly, and all of a sudden we had 200 products landed at our door. And how do you even start with this? And I realized, and I started to appreciate how under I'm not going to say underutilized, undervalued influencers, nano and micro influencers are. The amount of time I was ending up spending so much time. I was saying on the podcast, I had no idea. And then putting it up on your social media and developing your social media, how much time it takes. So regardless if you're nano, macro, or macro, right on up, you got to pay. And usually it's pay by level too. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot more than just the filming part. For me, the filming's the easiest. It's the before, the after, the posting. It all does take. And I'm a one person like team. I don't have a team really. So it is my time.
Yeah. All right. Next question, Kelsey.
Okay, next question is from Neil. When adding videos to your listing, how do you get them in the order you want them in? Can you put a video in the spot under the A+ content and not in your image stack, or vice versa?
That's probably for me.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're probably talking about the influencer videos, but I don't know if you have that control.
You don't have that control. So if you're putting it up as a related video, they come as they're uploaded. Um, as for the influencer videos that come into your product listing, that's the algorithm that picks it up, and that's based on relevance. And you might have it. One of our best-selling products that we've done ever as an influencer, we put up, and we were making our money, most of our money, off of this one company, and all of a sudden it's gone, and I'm in a rotation. And now you notice, oh, I'm getting consistently this money coming in, and now it's gone,
I
and it's
know.
not
The
even showing
worst.
up.
It's the
Yeah,
worst.
it's
the
awful.
rotation. Yes, I know. And then sometimes you're like, why?
Oh, yeah. And then if you're working with the influencer and they provide you with the video, you can use that as your 7th, 8th, 9th video on your product listing. You can put it into your A+, you can put it into your storefront. But those are if you work with the influencer and they allow you to do that. The other way, the other way of doing it is just repurposing your video on the influencer's platform and then on your platform, but then just make sure that you get a commercial license to do that.
Okay, next question is from Tuyen. Hi, Deanne. I have a 4.8 star kitchen basket and would love to send you one for review. Also, we're getting a couple comments about contact information. How do they work with someone like you? Do you have an email that you can provide?
Yeah, let's put my email in there. Should I type it? I'll type it to ours, and then you can just put it out there. So hit me up, guys. I would love to review your stuff. It'll be fun. Okay.
All right, so I'll post that shortly. And then this is a comment from Rad, just from the brand side, where Rad has paid upfront for TikTok videos to Canadian media. We have yet to be able to contact them, so we decided not to pay upfront. So, yeah, that's sorry to hear that, Rad.
I've heard that, Rad. Oh, I think it might have been you, Rad, contacting me. Yeah, well, I don't have any advice that if you do pay upfront and the influencer just doesn't do your video,
it's awful.
It's too bad.
So yeah, no, that's really bad.
You could, as long as if you've got an agreement with them, then you could go after them. But again, this is in Canada. So Rad, you live in the States, I believe. So it's a little trickier. But yeah, sorry to hear that. That's not typical.
Not typical. No, it's not. I wonder if there's like a payment protection that you can somehow like apply for a refund on PayPal or whatever, however you paid.
It go through escrow.
You might be able to do that. Like say I never got my services or whatever.
Yeah, you like if it's a big enough payment, you just go through escrow.com, I believe.
Maybe, yeah. Or if you paid on a credit card, you could cancel. I don't know how you paid, but I think on PayPal you can request a refund if like your product never showed up. So, and I think you might want to go after that.
Okay, our next question is from Artie. What's your requirement to decide to promote and invest in marketing certain products?
So, like me buying it on my own? Is that the question?
I think, like, how do you choose your product
when they come to you?
Is there a selection process that you have?
Gotcha. So if it's coming to me, my selection process is what's the time commitment? What's their budget? So I kind of factor those two things together. And that's about it. Like I'm willing to take on a lot of things. And then if I'm going to buy it and invest in it, I only do that if I actually want or need the product, because there is zero guarantee, as Norm said earlier, that your video is going to ever show up. So I'm not one of those people that puts out a ton of money for things I don't need, hoping my videos are going to hit. It's like I'm buying it because I actually legit want it and use it.
All right.
Okay, and then we have a question from Simon, just asking, can you give like a scale or a price range for influencers or nanos, kind of based on their levels? Is there any numbers that you can go by?
I just think that's a hard one. Norm, what would you say?
Mine is 0 to 200. I would think
Like
in around
there's a
there.
pretty range. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're just starting out, like when I first started out, I was willing to do it for a lot less, you
Yeah.
know? So I think it really depends on what stage you're at and how also how much your product costs. So if you have a very cheap product, expect to pay a little more for your review because the commission we're going to get as an Amazon influencer might be like nickels, you know? So we kind of factor that in. But if you have a very expensive product, I might be willing to do that for free.
Yeah.
So it all depends. Like I took a giant trampoline for my kids. I didn't take a dime from the brand. I just was like, cool, send it to me. And so an electric scooters, like certain things, you know. So I think it really depends on your product, and I would go from there.
And I misspoke. If 0, like you were saying, and it could be even, I said 200, I meant 500, but it could go much higher. It just
Go higher.
depends
Yeah.
on if the conversion rate and the influencer can show that, I'd pay much higher, or the quality. If you're just looking for the influencer like me, all I'm doing, I don't have time in the day to go out and make a fancy video. You're going to see my beard. I'm going to point, I'm going to talk, and that's it. But if you want something that I have to actually go out and script and take a couple of shots, it's going to be a whole different price range.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like if you want me to just do something where I'm just showing it, boom, 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 no edits, that's a different price.
Yeah.
So I think it's so hard to give you an actual number. And I hate when you can't like answer a question the way you want to, but it's really hard without knowing what your product is.
I'll if somebody asks me for a price of a website, I just shoot it back at them. How long is a piece of string?
Yeah.
So they get the gist.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it, Kels.
All right, we just got one final comment
Yep.
from Chuck, who is the bearded mimic. If your husband is into grilling, I've got products for him as well. So
Email. Yeah, we love
Woohoo.
grilling. Yeah, all the
And
guy stuff.
Chuck's got great products too, by the way. Really good products.
Yeah, no, bring it on. I mean, this is great. I was not expecting that at all. So what an added perk to have you guys want to work with me. That's awesome.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. You're off the hook.
Well done.
And just contact information, which we've put up there. We're going to go to the Wheel of Kelsey in just 2 seconds. So if you have not added your name or hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, or if you haven't tagged 2 people to get that second entry, do it now. We're going to be doing it in about 30 seconds to a minute. So is there anything else that you want to add?
Thank you guys for hanging out. That was so much fun. If you do go to my storefront, hit the follow button. That actually helps me on Amazon get seen more for my lives. So go ahead and hit that little follow button. It doesn't really affect you or your Amazon, so that's great. And yeah, feel free to follow me on the other platforms as well. And any questions, you guys all have my email. Feel free to reach out.
Fantastic. Okay, so I guess this is my live read. Here we go. Let's see if I don't blow this. Okay, this is for Seller Basics. Hey, Amazon sellers, ever faced with account suspensions, ASIN hiccups, or IP headaches? Introducing Seller Basics, your Amazon accounts guardian. With just 20 or just 29, with just $99 per month, Seller Basics offers a dedicated team to shield your business from these challenges. Plus, this membership offers free legal consultations from seasoned e-commerce attorneys. No long-term contracts, canceled at just a month's notice. View Seller Basics as your Amazon account's health plan. Check it out at sellerbasics.com. And I got to throw in this disclaimer: Seller Basics is not an insurer law firm. Consultations come from independent firms. Results may vary, and membership needed before events leading to claims, and terms apply. All right, let's have a word. Oh no, let's go to the wheel.
It's time for the Wheel of Elsie.
All right. Oh, we got a good wheel today. And no message from Kelsey.
All right.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
I'm sorry, my computer is slow today. I'm going to shuffle this up. Let's see who the winner is. If you are the winner, please email us kate@lunchwithnorm.com. Drip, you are the winner.
Oh my God.
Wow.
How many times has he won in the
He
last?
is on a roll. So Drip, let us know which prize you want. You have the watch option or the coaching call. So let us know, and congratulations. Wow.
Okay. Now you are off the hook.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you on.
Yay. No, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. I love it. Oh, he's getting the watch, or she.
Oh, the watch.
Let's email her.
Perfectly.
Yeah. So we'll ship that.
Perfectly. Oh my gosh.
So fun. Wow. Lucky. That's good.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Are you going on the cruise?
I am. Yeah. I was just telling Kelsey. So we get to hang out in real life. This is going to be so much fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
So
anyone else going on the online sellers cruise end of January, I will be there. I'm actually
fantastic. And we've got, and I haven't put it up yet. I know that we have some tickets from Carlos, and they're ridiculous. I think that there's a couple that are even free. Anyways, I've got to sort that out and get it out there for you guys. But that's going to be in January.
Yeah.
Is it January the 21st?
21st to the 28th. Yeah.
I've been on 2 other cruises with Carlos. It's fantastic. The cruise, I wasn't going down this rabbit hole, but if you haven't ever been on a cruise, or if you've been on cruises, you know what it's like. It's all inclusive. You eat when you want. It's a blast. And you got lots of excursions. Well, what Carlos did is he's made this into sort of a mastermind. So when you're on the water, you're learning. And it's just a really great just atmosphere where it's not a huge mastermind. I think last time there was 120. I think there'll be probably 200 or 300 people this time. But it's just a really great learning environment. And talk about networking. I mean, all you're doing is hanging around with each other for a week and doing some fun stuff. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I know Carlos has given me some great deals, and I think we'll be drawing for a free ticket one of these days.
Nice.
For 2 people. Yeah.
Ooh, cool. Yeah. You guys come on the cruise. It's going to be
It'll
awesome.
be fun. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah. Cannot wait.
Okay. Until then, we'll see you later. I really appreciate you coming on. I think you just dropped a lot of information here that people can use. So I really appreciate it, Deanne.
No problem. Send me a cigar. I need to try one.
Okay. On the cruise.
Yeah.
I am
let's
going
do
to
it on
bring
the cruise.
cigar.
Go
There
to a
we go.
cigar lounge on the cruise. Done.
Okay. All right. We'll see you then.
All right. Bye.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Actually, I went through the whole podcast. I hardly coughed at all. I thought I'd be coughing all podcast, but I think I did okay. Kels, where are you?
All right. Hello.
Oh,
So-
I know what you're doing.
Yes. So first off, if you want to contact Deanne, her email is right here. Contact her. Get some product, or some content for your products, and check out the storefronts. And also make sure you sign up for our WhatsApp group. This is the QR code for it, so just scan it, and you can head to it. We've got a great crew over there already, so super excited. I know a couple of the Beardos were saying that they're looking to they want a group and somewhere to talk and consult with each other and ask questions. So this is the place to do it. This is for the Beardos, so check it out. We're going to be promoting it for the next couple of days, just growing it. So let us know if you have any questions, comments about it. And yeah,
that's interesting because I've been away since this launched. And I just had a quick look at it on the plane. And yeah, there's already a bunch of engagement going on.
Yeah. So make sure you join. It's lots of fun, and I'm in there saying hi to everyone. Yeah, it's a great little community we got already.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I think that's it today. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Like I say at the end of every podcast, we have a great community. If you want to be part of the community, well, you got two choices. You can go over to the WhatsApp group, or you can go over to our Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA collective, or you can join both. Anyway, until next time, have a great day, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Lunch with Norm.